coin toss that we're going to do to determine who gets the number 1 overall pick, and then we're just going to alternate from there. So nothing,
I hate to say it, but I think everything we've said so far has
been muted. Well, we just posted the link, so that's okay.
Word.
Hold on. Are we good to go now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys in the chat hear us? Is that the link?
I'm rusty, you know.
Oh yeah, I feel you. You're already better than Regan though, so I don't feel I'm gonna give a guys a chance to hop in here. Nick, fix your mic, bro. Is my mic bad? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Sounds fine.
I can hear you fine, Nick.
Huh. Avocado sauce, you might have to fix your speakers, bro.
Maybe don't use dollar store headphones.
Well, if you guys can hear me fine, then it's obviously not mine.
Well,
I'm talking to Avocado. Avocado got the dollar store headphones.
Welcome to the Legends Draft.
Here we go. Yeah, the Legends Draft almost.
Rob, let's hear from you. What's your I mean, you don't want to show your hand too much, but what's your game plan going into this? You trying to focus defense, offense?
I'm gonna go after some playmakers. There ain't no doubt, but I've got a plan. If I see Boone snagging certain players, I've got certain players to offset that in plans. So.
I got you. Are you more excited to get players you've already had, or players you respected and never got to use?
Well, from my recollection of the last half of last cycle and this cycle. I'm thinking back to last cycle, and there's definitely some people I missed in the draft that I'd love the opportunity to coach. And there could be a few fan favorites, maybe one in particular. We'll see.
Okay.
That is, I think Boone. Does Boone have an advantage because he's been here from the jump? You know, he's been here for Madden 17, Madden 18, where Robert's only been here the middle half of Madden 19 and then all of 20. Even though I'd say most of the legends are probably from 18 or 19, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. You know, he could really appreciate like an Askew or a Todd as opposed to Rob.
But Rob probably did his research. Rob, have you looked into some of this stuff and did you check the Legends breakdown yesterday?
Yeah, I thought that was very informative. And I've heard a lot of hearsay since I've been in on some of these different folks. So I'm feeling pretty confident. I've got a plan, and I think there's a lot of talent. I think me and Boone are going to end up with it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of good players picked, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Higgy said in the chat, Rob has no plan. Don't let him lie.
Over to you, Boone. Are you you think it's going to be a little offensive run at the beginning or defense, or you got a plan, or you just...
Oh, it's Boone. Come on.
I can tell you right now. I know who my plan is for the first pick.
Okay.
There's definitely a plan there. Then I got to get somebody, to compliment that person.
Absolutely.
And after that, it's really a toss-up because I don't know. I've been kind of scarred by corners this year in real life, so I don't know how I feel about the corners, but there's some pretty nice corners in there. I'm not necessarily hooked on Roper. I love Roper, great guy. It's not a tie that I have to have. I had him once. I don't need him the second time.
You both have one player each, right? Riley Leak and Barry Roper.
Interesting. And then Nick, give me your who's going dead last.
Oh, dead last. That will probably be
that safety you threw JMO.
No,
nobody's heard of.
No, I think it'll be at one of the running backs because we have 3 running backs.
Oh, well then definitely.
Which was definitely my fault in the planning. Even though in the Legends game or the All-Star game last year, we saw each team use 3 running backs. So having a backup running back will help in certain situations. And you might even be able to pop them in at an Adonis Logan in like the 4th, 5th wide receiver spot if you don't have enough. So. But I do think it'll be a running back that will be taken last once each guy kind of gets theirs. But that's part of the strategy. If we see one guy take a running back early, then can the other one wait and take a running back dead last because he knows? Yeah, so it'll be a little game of cat and mouse here between the two coaches, I think.
Let me ask you this: do you see someone going quarterback?
I'm gonna toss it out there now. We're not gonna let that happen. just for the purpose of making it a more fun game. So we're just gonna cut that one out right off the bat. But that would be great strategy, right, Coach? If they did go Starkey triplet right in a row and just
Hey, look. If he went Starkey and triplet, I'm telling you right now, I'm making a call. And Viper's going to walk on the field. Okay, I'm just telling you how that's going to work out.
All right, last question before we get into the coin toss, Nick. Who's going first? Is it going to be Brooks?
I think it will be just based out. I think I made the draft class. I think they're both thinking like, oh, Brooks is going to be just an absolute monster, and they're going to want him on their team. But I think there's a lot of guys out there that could really. I mean, is it a pass rusher? Do you want to get your quarterback of choice? I mean, with the receiver, it's a very deep class. You can kind of get, if you didn't go Brooks first, you can come away with a bunch of them later. So I don't necessarily think he has to go first, but I think he will just based off his name and reputation. I think.
Well, look, hey, I could tell you firsthand. I saw the guy play, so it had nothing to do with who made the class. I saw him play. He earned every bit of his hype.
All right, we got the heads or tails pulled up here. So Boone, if you want to call it in the air, I'll
tails never fails, baby.
All right, tails. Here we go. I'm about to click flip again, and it's tails. Boone, first pick.
Can I call it up now? Can I do it now?
Yeah. We're good to go. I'm good.
Barry Brooks.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Boone goes Barry Brooks, the wide receiver out of TCU, Madden 19, Green Bay Packer, one of my guys.
He's out of heaven. That's where he was.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player. I think Boone made it clear he wanted him, and he went out and got him. So now it kind of shifts here to Rob. Does Rob get somebody who is going to cover Barry Brooks, or does he go a different way and maybe take the second best receiver of his choice or something like that? Do we just want to go right into the next pick? What do you think here, Grizz?
Yeah, I'm ready to. Let's see what Rob goes here. I'm thinking you got to get a corner. I'm thinking you got to get a corner to match Brooks' speed right off the bat. And there's one I got on the top of my mind. Let's see if Rob agrees.
Well, I let the fans decide on who we were going to pick first, and the actual Twitter page responded unanimously with Barry Brooks. However, he's taken. So my plan all along was I was either going to get Barry Brooks or I was going to watch him come off the board at 1, and I'm going to secure Akeem Spriggs.
Woo! Let's go.
Grace? Oh, he's back. Okay. Spriggs is the guy. If there's going to be a dude to lock down Barry Brooks, I think Spriggs is the best choice of these four. I mean, you really can't go wrong with any of the cornerbacks, but I think Spriggs is going to look nice in those team black uniforms. Let's go ahead and move on here with Boone's next pick. This is where it's going to start getting interesting. Do we see? You have your first player. Do you get somebody throwing the ball? Do you get somebody on the defense side? You have 6'8" Riley Leak out of Oklahoma, 266 pounds, and very good speed for somebody with that size. Soft hands, makes big plays across the middle, and a guy Rob knows very well. So not only do you get a really good player, but this is a shot to Rob here a little bit.
So that was the third overall was Leak.
Riley Leak.
I'm struggling.
Yeah, he got me.
Yeah, you keep bouncing out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's going on.
It keeps dropping, so I just leave and join right back.
Huh. You're acting like the commission of the basketball league.
It's not me, I promise.
Guys in the chat, feel free to post your predictions of who you think's going next and who comments on these picks and everything. We got Regan. It's just if he's not on the show, he's just spewing nonsense in the chat. So we can't get away from Regan either way. But it's nice that we don't hear his voice for once. So that's good. All right, so Boone goes Brooks and Leak. Rob has a guy on the defense side of the ball. Do we see him go with a linebacker or a safety?
Again. Get a Medlin and throw him.
That's what I'm saying. The Medlin to lock down to lock down Leak. Rob, go ahead and take it away. Who you're thinking here, and give us a little background.
Well, I mean, absolutely. I said I've got a plan when I came in here, and I really wanted to try to get some offensive pieces, but obviously I've got to defend against what he's got going on. He's got a big man, Leak, 6'8", total stud in the middle. I know him well. But I think Medlin would do a great job for me covering that middle with his zone. So that's who I'm going to take.
That's a great pick. So he's a 19 Green Bay Packer. He went top 5. He's an absolute beast. The 6'2", but he has that crazy speed at middle linebacker and great zone coverage. So I think that'll be 2 really fun matchups right out of the box here, where we get Brooks and Spriggs, and then we get Medlin on Leak. Okay. So we got 2 offensive players versus 2 defensive players. I'm liking how this is going so far. Regan says he likes that pick for Rob. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for Rob. J-Lo says Rob letting Boone dictate the draft. Uh-oh. Oh. Which you kind of almost, yeah.
I like it.
Someone's dropping in and out again.
It's great. We'll just keep
about it.
Yeah, personally, I like it from Rob, though. There's going to be plenty of offensive pieces to scoop up at the back.
Yeah.
So it's a bold strategy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I hear what you're saying.
But let's get that greatest show on turf going at the same time, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to respond with Gordon Todd. Yes, sir.
My boy.
Gordon Todd, the Philadelphia Eagle, traded to Detroit Lions in Madden 18, 6'5", 236 pounds, an absolute freak out of Northwestern State, transferred to Northwestern. But now we're talking Brooks, Leak, and Todd. This is going to be just an absolute...
It's like an all-Nick team.
This is going to be a monster offensive unit there. All right, Rob, it's back to you here. Do we see Rob go with his first offensive piece, or now does he go defense again because Boone took another offensive player?
Well, I definitely have a guy that I told myself I will get in this draft no matter what. And I'm going to go ahead and grab him now before it gets too late. I'm going to go ahead and take Deion Gates, the halfback.
Mm-hmm. Deion Gates, the fastest player in XCFL history. 6 feet tall, 213 pounds, out of Minnesota. Played for the Vikings for Nick Z in Madden 17. The dude was a monster. I was wondering if Boone was going to snag him and build an insane offense, but that's a smart move for you. Yeah, smart move grabbing Deion Gates. By far, head over heels, the best running back in this class.
Nick, could we see Rawls go right here? And we just got a lightning show on offense.
If we see, Rawls or Bishop or any of these guys,
and he still has figures coming. He could wait and get him figures later.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. But Deion Gates, great pick for Rob here. Putting a little pressure on Boone to go someone on defense, or else Gates could have a field day.
Yeah,
but Boone, we're back to you.
All right. That was a little wrench in my plan because he was definitely going to be my next guy. Okay. I see your Deion Gates. I'm going to raise you a Kevin Bassey.
Ooh.
Okay.
The big solid defensive tackle from the Philadelphia Eagles Grizzlies team, traded to the Detroit Lions out of Ohio State. One of the most highly touted draft prospects in XCFL history. Plays DN, plays D tackle, 6'4", 295. One of the strongest players in XCFL history. So that is a great pick to combat against the run game. Dude can put him right in the middle and hopefully shut down Deion Gates. I like that pick for Boone. And now we are, back to Rob for his fourth player?
Yeah, back to me. Hey, I do like a good defensive tackle.
Yep, that hurts Rob's feelings.
A thick boy, right?
Now, my plan, and I'm going to stick to it. I'm gonna go Spencer Farley. I know what I want to do, and I'm going to take the top 2 corners.
Okay. Very well done. That's a tough one because that definitely forces my hand here a little bit.
Did you go? We went not live. Well, if you guys missed that pick, it was Spencer Farley. Okay, we're good. You're on the screen there.
All right. That kind of ties my hands here.
Yep, a little bit.
I have to go on Terrius Blanton because I can't be caught without cornerback. So
yeah,
Rob's gonna get a good chance here to go up on me on these picks. So
Blanton's a beast. This is a Madden 17 guy from Jack's team, the Los Angeles, or I think they were St. Louis Rams at the time. But once again, you're going to get solid height, solid speed, solid band coverage, solid press. That's going to be a fun one to watch him go against whoever Rob comes up with here at wide receiver. But Blanton is going to be a beast and not a bad third corner off the board. We'll go back to Rob here. Sorry, what are you saying about my broadcasting skills? Says Regan.
It's not the broadcasting skills.
Yeah,
your ability to fill the time.
Your talking skills. All right, Rob, we're back to you here. We got 3 defensive players on your team, 1 offensive player.
Well, it's time to go offense.
Oh.
So, kind of taking a look, and it's really kind of funny because it's actually starting to fall exactly kind of how I was hoping it would go. Isaac Rawls is somebody that I got a chance to see last year. The need for speed is real, and that's going to be my pick.
Probably the second fastest player in XCFL history in Isaac Rawls. So you add Deion Gates running the football with Isaac Rawls over the top. Rawls out of Texas. He was the Madden 19 Buffalo Bill that J-Mo took with the 7th overall pick. He is a freak. A little bit smaller, 5'10", 181 pounds, but you're going to get a very, very good player and a wide receiver number 1. That we'll have to see match up with Ontarius Blanton on Team Gold over there.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting.
Jared says Rawls is trash.
Well, okay, I watched the guy.
Oh my God. You got a screen door. That's Rob for sure.
That's the old haunted house.
Right over there. You got somebody sleeping in on you.
Oh boy. All right, we got. Jared also said Rawls is his nightmare. So SMH says J-Bo. Oh boy. All right. So we got Boone back on the clock. He's got 1 defensive player on his route, or 2 defensive players. He went back-to-back defense in Bassey, whatever you want to call him for Grizz, and Antarius Blanton. Boone, where are we seeing you go with your next pick here?
Oh boy. So I'm gonna go a little offensive with what I want to do as far as strategy here. So I'm absolutely gonna take Mike Bly, the safety.
Oh.
We're going to get a big guy, try and cover the middle. If we're not going to have, got to make sure we get to that. We got to get solid defense, decent defense. So we got to get Mike Bly.
6'3", 203 pounds, brings the punch with some A- hit power. He is a former Washington Redskins, so you're getting a little bit of speed along with the high coverages. Bly's a great pick. Regan's going to be very mad that he went ahead of Pinnell. So
I mean, he was better than Pinnell. So
Regan's you're going to see a blown up chat real quick.
If he doesn't like that, he's not going to like my next one either.
Oh boy! All right, we're back to Rob here. Rob, you have just taken the speedster Rawls. Where are we going with your next pick?
Well, I know I really want to wait one more round, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and get him now. I'm going to go ahead and get Malcolm Starkey.
Malcolm Starkey, the quarterback from the Green Bay Packers.
That's a little bit of an error there because Nick set the rules out. Said you only get 1 quarterback.
He must think very, very highly of Starkey over Triplet, though.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
He gets his guy, Starkey, the Green Bay Packer from LSU, A+ throw power, solid deep accuracy, great off the play action. We'll see. He gets to throw to his familiar buddy and Isaac Rawls over there, so that should be a fun little match up there. So we can assume that Boone has Triplet on his squad. We should have almost started with 1 on each team, but we'll just go.
Well, my plan was to leave that till the end.
Yeah,
I know I'm going either way, but I can safely confirm now the last pick in this draft will be Triplet. So we're gonna go with one of my favorite players to watch. I always got excited playing this guy because he was such a stud, and it's gonna piss off the viewers even more.
I know who
coolest name, Mr. Vaitua Tonga Hopkins. Okay, the Hop. Come on now.
V Hop and Bly both go before Pinnell.
V Hop is way better than Pinnell. Don't even.
you the hit power. He's going to give you the coverage. He can come up and stuff the run game. 5'11", 207, very solid player.
And
so
Isaac Rawls is a little fella, so he better run for his life.
So that is the Indianapolis Colt. Sean drafted him from Madden 18. Absolute stud. Played for Grizz at the end, but he's a beast, man. One of my favorite players as well. One of the coolest names and nicknames that we've ever had in the league. So Regan says, yeah, I'm going to go off myself. No biggie. Will we see Long Duncan go before Perry Pennell? That is the real question.
I think Pennell goes 32.
I mean, he could now because Rob knows he's going to snag the last two safeties, but
and Jacoby Askew, I think, would be a good fit for the black
team. You bastard. Bastard. That's what you are.
You know, Askew, Rob wasn't around for him, but he heard it on the show, and a lot of people don't know the power. One person who does know how good Askew was Boone. And for Rob to land him, to pair him with a Malcolm Starkey and Isaac Rawls, plus a Deion Gates, we're going to see some nasty route running from Jacoby Askew. So, really like that pick.
You dirty birdie. You dirty birdie. Okay.
Really nice pick. So we're back to Boone here. Regan said he will absolutely pull a DOS mid broadcast if Long Duncan goes before Pennell.
Well, don't feel bad.
All right, boys, you know what to do.
We got who up? Boone's up now.
Yes, sir. We are going to take Brandon Jimenez. And you know what's funny? Funny story. I actually stumbled across my my mock draft where he was in it. So you'll get to. I'll drop that as a little throwback after this is over.
Yeah, Jimenez is a beast. A+ throw or A+ hit power. I don't know about his throw power, but 6'2", 239. He was a Madden 17 Indianapolis Colt from Sean. One of the best linebackers to ever play in our league. Came out of the box, just an absolute monster. I found his draft card the other day and I sent it to Sean. And just seeing some of his ratings coming out was just the good old days of drafting in the XCFL, where you knew when you were getting a monster. Now you get 72 overalls and you're all excited, but. He was a freak.
And you knew.
He was a freak. He came out with like 95 hit power when he was drafted in Madden 17. So this is a guy that's you pair him up with a Kevin Basie in the middle, and that started to look like a pretty nasty defense after going real offensive heavy to start your draft. So I like that pick. We'll go back to Rob. So Rob has gone all 3 offense in a row here with Rawls, Starkey, and Askew. Let's see where he goes with his next pick.
Love you too, Jared.
God, Boone is trash.
Let me just clarify and make sure this guy is still available.
Okay.
Is Anthony Bynum still available?
He is.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. I guess I need to put him on the black team.
So Boone is going to be.
I plan on playing some nickel.
So Boone will be stuck with just Ontarius Blanton, but he can maybe draft another safety, move around out there, get a little creative on defense. We'll have to see what happens. But so Rob, little strategy here from Rob, right, Grizz? We were kind of talking about this earlier.
These guys are going right at it. Boone's taking his tight end, and he says, "Okay, well, I'm taking few minutes from you, and I'm taking all the corners from you. I'm loving it."
You're gonna need it when you gotta cover Brooks, Leak, and Todd. You really need three corners out there. So lots of nickel for sure. So we'll go ahead and move on to Boone here.
He still could grab figures too.
Yeah. Yep. How's Boone gonna respond?
Well, hey, look, I'm gonna need somebody to play back there. We're gonna take, and I'm so upset because I think he's just a. Whatever. Perry Pennell.
so Pennell did play corner he was moved to corner, so if you need to move Pennell to corner, that is allowed. Very good man coverage, very good zone coverage. Yeah, he's a good player, and Regan is going to be absolutely thrilled. He also said Boone,
third corner.
Boone will be using Doss's playbook with 4 wide receivers in every formation.
Oh, you have no clue. But there's some formation that only let you have a tight end in there. So I was like, okay, we can get lead.
That's a very good strategy pick. Boone did go with the only tight end and the only defensive tackle. 2 very good strategy picks there too.
Oh yeah, man. Big time.
But now we'll go back to Rob here. Rob, what's your response here?
Well, he got me on that one. I was gonna take him 2 picks ago for my boy Regan, but I keep his focus going on offense right now. I've built up a lot of speed I've got a big guy on the outside. I've got my speedster and Rawls. Probably need to look in the slot, and there's really nobody else except for the guy figures that. I mean, he is made for the slot, so he's going to be perfect for this team. So I'm going to take Figures.
Jadarius Figures, the only player in XCFL history to come out with a 99 overall acceleration out of the box. An absolute stud. Unfortunately, he had to play for Josh in Madden 19 in the Atlanta Falcons. But 6 feet tall, 186 pounds, he is much more than just a deep threat. So you get a really good player in Figures that's not scared to go across the middle. Really good pick here. And you pair him up with a Rawls and Askew. It's good. The offense is getting nasty. Obviously, both teams are going to be very talented, but it all is about how players complement each other. And with the Rawls on one side, of Figures in the slot, that turns into an Askew. That's a really nice-looking team. So we'll go ahead and move on here to Boone again.
All right. That's a good one. That's a very good one. That's a very good one. I like that one.
We got three receivers left. Bishop, Mumphrey, and Jalen
I'm going to take Dixon Bishop.
There we
Wide
go.
receiver, Detroit Lions. We're going to pair him up with Todd again. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that Todd Brooks, Leak, Bishop is a nasty combination. 6'5", 225. Ran the 4.31 40-yard dash. So you get a stud in Dixon Bishop. That is going to be a fun offense to watch with Blair Triplett at the helm, I'm assuming. So
As well.
now we'll see how we got 3 corners over here. So he's got his answer, hopefully, to guarding those 3 receivers, but we'll have to see how that goes. Rob? Oh, hey, Van, how you doing? Van, you can see on the screen, the left is the order the players were picked in, and then you can see the 2 teams. So if you didn't understand that.
This would have been the perfect time for me to have snagged a Blair Triplet if we hadn't made that rule prior to the start.
Look, man, I can call Palmer. Palmer is available.
So to do the right thing here, I'm going to avoid Blair, but I am going to sneak up here and grab a guy that I do remember from last cycle. Very effective on the edge. Certainly, he's going to help. Help my defense out, and that's Deshaun Watts.
Deshaun Watts, the former Green Bay Packer, played with the Buffalo Bills. The number 1 Madden Gen player with the most sacks last cycle, so that's not a bad pick at all off the edge. Can play DN, can play outside linebacker. We'll let you kind of set that game plan how you want to. But a really nice pick with Deshaun Watts, 6'5", 253. So he's one of the bigger edge rushing outside linebackers, but that is a great pick for Team Black and Rob.
Very nice, very nice. Respectable. Okay.
And we're back to Boone. So Boone went with Dixon Bishop. He's got his 3 receivers. He's got his tight end, 2 safeties, a linebacker. Well, 3 safeties technically, but we'll go ahead and see where we're going to go here, Boone.
We're going to take another really just monster player.
Quick FYI, if you take multiple middle linebackers, you can play them at outside linebacker, obviously. Just wanted to clarify that.
Fantastic, because, I was going Karan Shade.
There you go. Yeah. So Shade is a beast, one of the most athletic linebackers we've ever seen in the XCFL. He is a heat-seeking missile, A+ hit power to go with the, crazy speed. I think he was 4.5 40-yard dash, so one of the fastest linebackers we've ever seen. Going to be really fun to watch how he plays in this Madden and in the All-Star game. So very good pick there with Karan Shade to pair him with Brandon Jimenez.
Remember that time I had Shade and V-Hop and like a 99 defense, and I won like 4 games, and then you closed the league down?
Hey, he's back.
Good.
He's back.
I was just talking shit too. What a time did you see?
Yeah, I was like, where'd he go?
Anywho, after Shade.
So we go back to Boone here. So we got what?
No, it's me now.
Oh,
It's Rob. It's Rob.
Yeah, he took Shade, who I actually learned a lot about the other night and was very intrigued by that gentleman. But he's off the board. I have got a decision here to make, and I'm going to go ahead and take Gordon, the middle linebacker.
Fedorowicz, yep.
Fedorowicz, yes, sir.
Very good pick. Okay. It's one of Brent/Van's guys in Madden 18, Cleveland Brown, 6'4", 244. Kind of did it all. Very good in pass coverage. He's the field general archetype. really good player in Fedorowicz here. So Van's gonna be happy he made it in time to see his guy get picked. But we only have one middle linebacker left, and it is Barry Roper. So that'll be interesting to see when he goes. But
sure will.
Fedorowicz is off the board, and we go back to Boone here.
All right. So it's on me now, I assume. All right. We're going to take Santez Clark.
Santez Clark. Very nice. So we get another edge rusher here to pair with Big Basie in the middle here. Clark was an Atlanta Falcon last cycle, 6'3", 261. Almost passed Watts for the most sacks, but he probably would have if he didn't have Tack McKinley over there stealing the majority of his sacks all cycle. But Santez Clark is a freak, and this will be a fun, really nice linebacking core Boone's putting together, and him and as Watts and Clark, or him and as Shade and Clark. Oh, yeah.
All hit power.
So we get a speed rusher off the board. That leaves Rob back on the clock after going with a middle linebacker. He's going back-to-back linebackers. We'll see where he goes this time around.
Well, I got to get powerful here. I mean, with what I'm wanting to do and my plan to put a lot of pressure on his quarterback to be named later, I'm going to go with Adrian Tolerance.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Torrance.
Torrance. Okay.
He was the New Orleans Saint from last cycle. Brent drafted him. Was an absolute monster power rusher. Put up huge numbers for the Saints. Big part of their second Super Bowl. Really good player. Only true defensive end in the draft. So Rob goes ahead and says, I see your D tackle. I'm going to go ahead and get the super D end. 6'3", 242. So he's a smaller defensive end, but he brings the power moves and the strength. So really good pick there with Adrian Torrance.
About 2/3 of the way through, who do you have? Who do you give the edge right to?
Oh man, we both. I mean, I really like the Boone's offensive, firepower with Brooks, Todd, Bishop, and Leak. That's just insane. Rob did answer nicely and go with the three corners and Medlin, but I think I'm leaning Boone just because I want to see that offense. If you got to score points, and I think he's got the guys to do it. So I'm going to lean Boone.
What I like about the Boone team so far was that flex to have the knowledge to know you could grab Pinnell and put him at corner to save him from only having one corner.
Yeah.
So it's been a great draft so far. Back to.
But I do like Rob's team speed with Gates, Rawls, Figures, even guys like Watts and even Torrance off the edge. That's an interesting squad there too, with a lot of speed. I don't want to call them gadget players because Deion Gates is much more than a gadget player, but that's going to be interesting, especially watching Spriggs and Fairley go up against Brooks and Todd. Those are going to be my matchups to watch. So,
Spriggs
very
is
good.
Lockdown, so.
Yeah, Spriggs better guard Todd because he can't guard Barry Brooks.
No, he's got him.
All right, we'll go ahead and go back here.
It's me?
Yep, we're back to Boone.
Okay.
So we went back-to-back defensive picks.
We're gonna stay there. All right. I'm taking Alan Agnew.
Oh yeah,
right, big boy.
Daved this dude up, man, and he ended up turning. He was a season 1 draft pick, and he turned into a monster, 90-something overall player. Excellent power rusher. Can drop back and play in zone coverage too, and was a huge headache for Malcolm Starkey and the Packers. So Agnew off the board, great pick there out of Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
And 264, like you said, really solid. 6'2", 264. He's like a flipping bowling ball. So really nice pick.
I mean, Santez Clark 260, and then we got the big boy Bassey in the middle.
Yep. That's going to be a nice looking defensive line. All right, Rob, what do we got for you?
Well, Roland Mumphrey is still out there, correct?
He is. Yes, he is.
6'6" wide receiver.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle him in the mix.
He is a big body, 6'6", 231. One of the first, the first of his type. He was the first one to kind of come in with a little bit of speed at that.
I'm just going to click stop and then, oh, wait.
We're back on.
It's green. Sorry, boys. I don't know what the deal is.
We're back on. No big deal. Sean said, did anyone fail to mention that the spreadsheet has the team colors wrong?
That's funny.
I don't know if that's true. I didn't look, but
no, you got to look at the font.
The font color. Gotcha. There. Boom. So it is right.
Gotcha, Sean.
So Mumphrey off the board. We only have one receiver backer, probably going to play outside linebacker in the game, but middle linebacker, stud for Boone. Second round pick, turned into monster. Boone was very upset, but he turned into a beast. Rover off the board, 6'3", 251, A- hit power from Syracuse. Great pick there to really solidify an already beastly linebacking core. So
all hit power.
Really gotta like what Boone put together there with that defense. It started out, oh, he's just going all offense, but it ended up spinning around here. Really, really good defense. Oh boy. Uh-oh.
All right.
All right, we're back. We're back to Rob here. Rob, you are on the clock, sir.
All right. Well, it's winding down, so in theory, there's a couple picks that he needs, and I'm going to have to let him have those, but there's also one that I need, so I'll just wait on that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this power back, Jared Keel.
God damn it.
Great pick there.
Damn it.
I like that. You get a little thunder lightning there with Gates and Jared Cool. Cool. Another one. So Rob has gone with a lot of the early on Madden 17 guys that he wasn't even around for. So he definitely did his research. Yep, research. The A in trucking. This is the guy I mentioned yesterday. He's listed as a power back, but don't get it twisted. He can do it all. He's got enough speed to be a little scat back too. So really nice pick there. So Boone is going to get stuck with Adonis Logan. It looks like. Not a bad
pick.
Yep. So Boone is on the clock now.
Okay.
I really like that pick.
All right. Well, I mean, my hands are kind of tied here. I'm gonna take Adonis Logan.
Your last two picks are all set.
Yeah,
I gotta take Adonis Logan, man.
Adonis Logan, which is another really good player. Inclusive back. You were really high on him yesterday in the show, so it's not like you're getting stuck with a crappy player.
I wanted the big boy. I wanted cool to run through the middle and run over people.
Especially with
linebackers like that.
With your receiver spread. Cool. So Adonis Logan is on Team Gold, and now we're back to Rob here. So we got one pick left for Boone, 2 picks left for Rob, or?
Yeah, I believe that's right. So Boone's trapped. I mean, obviously,
he's going triplet.
I can go ahead and take. I'll go ahead and take Long Duncan.
We got Long Duncan. So is that your first safety?
Yeah, that's my first safety. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, his hands are kind of tied though. If he didn't take him, I would have had to take him.
Yeah, so we got Duncan off the board. So now what? Boone's got to go triplet.
Yep.
And then the last pick is who? Or is that it?
The last pick should be Jalen Holmes,
which is not a bad wide receiver to pair with Figures, Rawls. He was probably the second quickest receiver that we have in Jalen Holmes. So, and you pair him with some big body guys. A nice little mix there of Askew, Rawls, Figures, Holmes, Mumphrey. This is going to be very, very, very nice. So you have 5 receivers. Boone has 3, I believe.
3.
So we'll have to see it.
3 and
he's got 5. Woo.
So we'll have to see. Rob's getting that 5 wide, 4 wide offenses going. Let Starkey just chuck it around a little bit.
I got Starkey, so I'm not afraid.
Well, that is so. We got the rosters right up next to each other. Jared said Long Duncan is a good pick. He was around for that actually. He was the Seahawks during that. Every time I hear Long Duncan, I think of Long Donuts here in Indianapolis. Says Sean. So fired. Oh boy.
Watermelon in or not?
Regan, just to clarify, Rob was not allowed to take triplet, or else we said that at the beginning of the show. So, but very nice pick. Grizz, who are you leaning here as your?
I'm gonna line it out a little bit better. Take a look if you wanna.
Oh, okay. Well, so let's go ahead and talk. If Rob, if you or Boone, we'll go you. Rob talks over there. Boone, who else were you considering taking first overall if it wasn't going to be Barry Brooks?
There was never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
There was never a doubt. If I had the number 1 pick, it was Brooks, and I knew that 5 weeks ago.
So let's say Rob had the number 1 pick and went Brooks. Yeah, who are you going to take?
I was taking Riley Leak.
Riley Leak. Okay, so you ended up getting so you got your top 2 players.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did.
Rob.
Absolutely.
So you said you would have gone Brooks too. Was there any thought of taking Riley Leak with your first pick instead of Spriggs?
Well, I did a fan vote on Twitter, and Barry Brooks was the vote. So we were prepared to take Brooks, and then I knew that if he took Brooks, if he got the winning coin toss, I would immediately go and take Spriggs so that I had something to guard against him. So I had who won the coin toss.
Well, you couldn't go wrong with either of them. And I like some of these matchups. The draft did dictate a little bit at the start, and we're going to see some really cool matchups with the Todd. What is Regan saying? I like the balance of Rob's offense, says Regan. Big, tall, quick, and small. I like it. So Regan turning into a rapper here with some solid rhymes in the YouTube chat.
Oh, quick, small. Oh, my Lord. Who let Dr. Seuss in here?
Yeah, I should have said nursery rhymes, not a rapper. That's what I should have said. So Boone's defense is the interesting part for me because he ends up getting the defensive tackle. He gets 2 edge rushers in Clark and Agnew, and then he adds 3 linebackers in the middle and Jimenez Shade.
Grizzly, he's got another running back.
Yeah, and you end up with 3 stud linebackers in the middle. Who are you going to play Who are you going to play at middle? Is it going to be Jimenez Shade or Roper? Do you know yet?
It's probably going to be Jimenez and Roper.
Correct.
Yeah.
It all depends on the speed. Whoever I feel is fastest. I got to make sure the middle linebacker can cover more distance.
Yeah. Shade probably the fastest of those 3. Wing says, "Don't get Regan going, Nick." Oh boy. Oh, and then Rob going with like we talked about Gates. Oh, Grizz is lining this up nice. We're gonna get to see everybody side by side.
I'm telling you.
But he gets Gates. He gets Poole. So he has a nice little 1-2 punch. It does work out. We're gonna see him go literally the 2 stud running backs paired up against these 3 elite linebackers. A nice little 50-50. Rob, was Gates your target all along? Was that was the guy you wanted at running back after the draft?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was somebody that I had kicked around taking second. And then I thought to myself, I'm definitely taking him. I'm not going to let him go much farther than that. But he's with his speed and Malcolm throwing it around all over the field. I figure I'm going to be up a lot. My corners are going to get my corners are planning on getting a few picks to add along. It should be a lot of fun. High scoring game, I'm thinking.
I'm hoping
I
so.
hope your corners can tackle. I can tell you that much. You don't have many linebackers.
Grizz, what do you notice after putting the 2 rosters together?
Yeah,
like
when you put it together, Boone has 2 extra guys on defense, which is huge considering they're all going to be on the field.
Yeah.
And Rob's, he's deep at wide receiver, so if we can figure out a stamina setting or whatever to try to rotate all those guys through.
Let him play Jacoby Askew over there at safety. Go up and make some plays.
Yeah, for real. So I don't know. Rob's offense, they're gonna stay fresh. They're gonna be running, but I don't know. You got more starters on Boone's defense, so Boone's gonna have more talented starters on the field overall.
But I don't see, Rob's 3 corners. That's the matchup to watch with Spriggs, Fairley, and Byram going up against the all-star receiving core of Boone, I think.
So, Rob's team, I don't know. They might be a little more thin on defense, but the guys they have are studs. So, I mean, everybody's a stud in this draft, but Spriggs, Fairley, Bynum, and Medlin, and
Regan says, Sean, your roster every season is more disappointing than Derrick Rose's knees.
Derrick Rose was impressive this year.
Yeah.
So who do you think navigated the draft better, Nick, based off picking?
Hey, Grizzly, you got to slide it over a little bit because we
can't see the right team.
Okay.
Boone's. I thought we were going to see Boone just go so heavy offense right off the bat, but I really am happy how he recovered and was able to fill up his defense even more than Rob did. He got his. He
played so much bigger than his size is. We went offline again.
So yeah, we're back now. So here's my question then. Do we see the draft that we have, in a couple weeks? Is it going to go similar to the order we just saw the players picked at? No?
I don't think so.
Is.
The quarterbacks probably go late.
Maybe a little bit like this.
The top Brooks, Spriggs. Who went? Can you shift left again?
I can see that. Yeah, we'll
Brooks, Spriggs.
Yeah, just delete the columns in between Gates, the teams and the thing.
Because Gates went 6th.
Medlin went 4.
Yeah, Medlin's a beast. I'll be interested to see where he ends up going. But you can't go wrong with any of those linebackers, really. But
yeah, I just got a text from Isaac Rawls. He's working on a touchdown dance for the game, so it should be a lot of fun. Actually, look forward to seeing.
Don't worry, it's fine. Look, I understand. We have a couple ambulances on duty, ready to go to pick your players up and go. I know you got a lot of receivers. You're gonna need them. Rawls a little too small to be playing in this heavyweight. Big boys out here.
Nick, which team would you rather use her out of the two?
I'm going with Boone's just because he has my guys, man. He's got Todd Bishop and Brooks. I gotta go Boone.
I think Rob's offense.
On the
six would be nuts.
Bro, I would love to just 5 wide that fucking thing and just throw them all fucking day. That would be amazing.
I'm just biased with Boone taking Todd Bishop and Brooks, and then you throw Weekend to mix it up too. That's just nasty. But yeah, like you said, Rob's got. I mean, Rob might have taken the 3 fastest receivers we've seen in Figures, Rawls, and
then
Holmes.
Gates, and then he's throwing with Starkey.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Van said Jalen Holmes will go higher than last, which
absolutely,
that's fair.
Just because, which would make sense. Though you guys already had your pick, but Holmes once that combine pops up, Holmes is going to be shooting up draft boards for sure. Regan says the best player on Boone's team is clearly Pinnell. I think we all disagree with that.
He's not even the top 5.
Boone might not. Boone might have. Really hope that happens.
I'm gonna just run a 4-6, and I'm gonna leave it on the bench.
And we're for this game to try to get some more fireworks. We're probably gonna make them closer to.
They should be in there.
Where they ended in the league, as opposed to like what they will be. In the draft.
These will be completely roided up versions of these guys, and we're gonna see some fireworks. Probably make the game time a little bit longer than the last one, just so we get a little bit more scoring, hopefully.
Hey, did we get Rob an extra quarterback? I don't think his quarterback's going to make it out of the
game.
Well, Boone, I might want to fill you in on the fact that Higgy is going to be my offensive coordinator. Can you imagine that speed and that kind of quarterback arm strength with his game plan? Good luck, pal.
Another thing we're gonna add in some people as backups. That are famous.
So XCFL. You'll see some other XCFL legends.
Viper, please, thank you.
Not quite souped up, roided up versions of them, but to fill out the roster, you might see a Solomon Cone, Solomon Cone, some other guys,
Viper, please, thank you.
Viper, he's from this one. He's the starting quarterback for the next one.
Then give me Doss.
Someone's got to hold the kicks, I guess.
Can I have Doss?
You can have Doss.
What? Does anyone know any kickers that were like money? Definitely not an EA Gym kicker.
Jim drafted that one Buck triplet in like the 3rd round.
Because of his
name. He might have boosted his attributes. Who knows at the time? I don't know. But he definitely drafted him in the 3rd round. So I don't know. That was it, but I don't think we have any other ones. Regan drafted a superstar kicker 2 drafts ago. If you guys haven't heard him talk about it as much as he does. But it'll be interesting because we did leave a couple Hall of Famers.
We're not kicking. He needs to. We're not kicking. No, he needs a punter.
Yeah.
I know a certain right guard that's going to be on Rob's roster as well.
Brody Spriggs.
That's right. There you go.
Got to give him that.
Make him a tackle so he can be eligible to go out for passes. Just make him a right tackle.
There we go. All right, guys. Well, this was fun. The first time we've ever done this. I think this will be a really cool way to do it. Grizz is working on all sorts of stuff. We're going to have this. This is going to be a lot of fun for years to come. Sean did not dispute that Jim definitely probably juiced his punter. And he was there. So if anybody knows, it's probably Sean. But thanks, guys, for taking time and doing this. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited to see how it goes. And Grizz has the uniforms looking absolutely nasty. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm really hoping we look something like, Baylor,
It was, the ones he sent were pretty sweet. I think you're going to be pretty happy with them.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
Thanks a lot, and
Absolutely.
Good luck, Boone.
All right, man. Good luck, man.
We'll see this probably week Grizz? Week 17. Maybe.
I mean, yeah, we're ready to do it whenever.
Yeah.
Next
okay.
week,
Cool.
real
okay.
life.
Cool. Yep. We'll get an announcement out there and we'll get going. All right, fellas. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get after it.